on Fox. There you go.
There we go. This past weekend from Kansas City, Missouri.
Is it not Missouri?
It's Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, you said Missouri.
Missouri. I'm saying it like they say it. Missouri.
Ah, okay, all right.
Maybe that's not how they say it. Anyway, Demetrius Johnson main event defeated Wilson Reyes, Rosnama Yunus in the co-main event, destroyed Michelle Waterson. Unbelievable performance. But I'd say the one that we should talk about first, Robert Whittaker comes out and really just outclassed Jacare. Second round TKO, head kick and punches. Mary Yamasaki calls a stop to the fight. In my opinion, and Michael Bisping's going to trash me in just a moment,
a little too early.
A little too early.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry to interject you there. Sorry to cut you off.
No, but I winced in pain like you were going to yell at me.
No. I actually agreed and thought it was a little early, but the writing was on the wall. Now, disclaimer, obviously I've looked at the reports online. The only fight I saw was the Jacare and Robert Whittaker fight, which I just watched recently because when those fights were happening, it was Sunday afternoon out here, Easter Sunday, and I was working, I was filming, I was on set, so I wasn't able to watch them, but I went back and watched the Jacare fight, of course, and as soon as I found out the result, through Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I did take to Instagram and talk a little bit of shit on Jacare.
Yeah, you did.
Jacare, that guy has had a chip on his shoulder and been talking a lot of smack about me for a long time now. The fucking disgusting-looking bastard that he is. He's the ever-shrinking man. He's certainly got smaller. We see his performance is getting weaker and weaker. Robert Whittaker looked great. The kid is on fire. The kid's doing well. Nothing but praise for Robert Whittaker there. Good footwork, decent takedown defense. We've seen him knock people out before, and of course, he got the job done. What were you going to say, Lewis?
Well, no, he had great performance by Robert Whittaker. I've been saying for a while that Robert Whittaker is the dark horse of that division. He's kind of a guy that he looks great, and, I don't know how many wins in a row. It's at least 5 or 6 wins in a row. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in a row.
7. Said 7.
7 in a row, dude.
Yeah, listen, 7 wins in a row, and he's doing good, and he's knocking out some people as well. And he looked great against Jacare. Listen, I never really thought Jacare was that good, to be honest. Anyway, if Jacare can't take you down, he's fucked. His stand-up's terrible. His stand-up is terrible. He's so stiff and herky-jerky. He throws single shots. So Robert looked great, and he called me out on the microphone immediately after, and of course he should do that. He should do that. I'm the champion, and you should want to fight the champion. I remember when I wasn't the champion, I used to get called out all the time then as well, and people would say, hey, I want to fight Bisping. And me and Perillo, we would sit there and we'd kind of scratch our head and be like, why the fuck, if you've just won a big fight, would you call out the number 4 guy? Why don't you call out the champ? So anyway, Robert did that, and fair play to him. And listen, I've got no qualms fighting Robert Whittaker. Let's just make that abundantly clear right now, because some website said, Bisping hasn't responded. Yeah, because I'm out in Thailand working, and my life doesn't revolve around responding to Robert Whittaker. Well, I'm responding right now because Yoel Romero is a dirty, lying, cheating scumbag. If you want to do Whittaker after I've beaten GSP, we can. If not, I'll do Romero, whatever. But I see Robert as a more worthy contender. He stopped Jacare. Romero didn't stop Jacare. And Robert hasn't tested positive for steroids. So really, I think it should be Robert next.
Oh, that's going to get people furious.
Oh, so he's ducking Yoel. He's going to come out with anything. He will use any line, any point of reference to avoid Yoel Romero. It's sickening. It's a disgrace. He's bad for the division. He's bad for the sport.
This is Callum saying this, by the way, in your corner.
Champion. What?
This is your son, Callum, saying this in your corner.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly. That dad. Oh, he tells me to shut up all the time anyway. Callum's always like, Dad, don't say that. Don't tweet that.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I imagine fucking Romero sitting down listening to our podcast every week. I really do. I imagine him putting headphones on every week.
For sure, because we talk about him quite a lot.
Of course.
So, he wants to hear what we're saying. I love you, mate.
As soon as you said you would fight Robert Whittaker next, I think he literally shit his pants.
Yeah, he threw the laptop across the room. He jumped up. He called his manager straight. Oh, this is bullshit. You need to call UFC right now and tell them that I am the true champion. or something like that.
You should just do
no, he
a
didn't. As soon
fucking.
as he heard that, in fact, let's officially now start the campaign that after I beat GSP, it should be Robert Whittaker.
I like that.
Robert Whittaker versus Michael Bisping, because. Oh, all right, maybe there's a case that he's the most worthy contender, but more importantly, just to fuck with Yoel Romero. He is the only fight I will take after.
Believe
George
you me, fans,
St.
go hashtag that out, Bisping versus Whittaker, and tweet it at Romero. Make sure you tweet it at Romero,
please.
tag Romero, Whittaker versus Bisping after GSP. He's the most deserving. In fact, that's what we're naming this episode. It's Bisping versus Whittaker.
Yeah. Listen, and for the logic that I stated, he's on a really good 7-fight win streak. He knocked out Jacare where Romero didn't stop him.
Just knocked out Derek Brunson. Anderson Silva couldn't do that.
Yep. No, you're right. And also, Yoel tested positive. So I just think all those things together, Robert Whittaker, okay, admittedly, way better matchup for me stylistically, but facts are facts, and I think he should be the number one contender.
Can I tell you why I don't like it?
Why?
I feel like the fight hype leading up to the show, I don't need to listen to a Brit and an Australian chirping at each other. It's gonna be a fucking nightmare.
But hey, listen, I've got no problem listening to a Brit and an Australian.
Oof.
But from your perspective, from the American perspective, yeah, I totally get that.
It's just like you guys don't have any bass to your voice. It's just all treble. It's just like
I know. Yeah, do you know what, Lewis? You touched on something there. I fucking hate it because I hear him like you talk like this, man. You're like you got some voice, you got some bass, as you say.
Thank you.
I'm very nasally. See, I'm from Manchester, and we kind of talk through our noses. Like mine is very, very, very subtle. But most people from Manchester, mate, they kind of talk like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they talk. You're from Manchester, so I'm from just outside of Manchester, about 25 mile away. So I'm not as bad, but you're right. And my wife pulls me on it all the time. So yeah, I fucking hate my accent. So yeah, for me and an Aussie wouldn't be good. But on the flip side, you've got the Cubano, and he can hardly speak English anyway.
Yeah, but you know what? That's almost like it seems more like it's like a villain in a movie. Romero's got a great. It doesn't matter. Romero could just scream into the microphone, and it sounds incredible.
Yeah, and also we did have that great promo at UFC 205.
Yeah.
And also, Yoel Romero does have that creepy fucking manager that's like, I don't know, he looks like something out of a Bond movie that translates for him. But still, just purely, simply to wind Romero up, the only fight I'm going to accept after GSP is Robert Whittaker.
I like it. And also, Rockhold offered to fight Whittaker after the fight. And
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess he said he was very impressed with him, and then Whittaker said, "Oh, this is news to me." They asked him right afterwards, and he said, "I just want to get home to my family. That seems a little bit rushed. I guess July would be a little bit rushed for him." But Whittaker.
Okay. Let me stop you right there. See, that's what you call a pussy. Sorry, Robert Whittaker. Well done. But what month are we now? April, May, June, July. You didn't take any damage. You're young. You're in your prime. You're on a big win streak. Rockhold calls you out. You're like, oh, no, he doesn't fancy that. He does not fancy that fight with Rockhold.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Otherwise, why is he saying it's too soon?
That's actually the fight that makes sense. If Whittaker, if you're trying to bring him along, right, that's the fight that makes sense, especially if Rockhold wants to fight.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that fight. 100%. That's an incredible fight.
That isn't too soon. That's 3 months. That's 3 months away. So I think that's Whittaker trying to avoid him and get me. And listen, I'm fighting GSP sometime this year, so he's going to have to fight again in the meantime. And I think Rockhold will be a great matchup. It all depends if Rockhold.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? You already said Whittaker's got the next title shot. He should just sit on the sidelines for 6 months and just wait for that title shot.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Maybe. What else happened? So Michelle Watterson, she just destroyed. Sorry, what's
Thug Rose.
Paige? Sorry, Thug Rose. Sorry, pardon me. She just destroyed Watterson, did she?
Yeah, just destroyed her. It's almost like it's a weird thing with I think a lot of this is what happens with a lot of the lighter divisions. 125 is another one. I think there's they almost like you can't really, you don't have a lot of data on them. You know what I'm saying? There's not like you've been so tested for so long. You can make a real educated guess when you're fighting another guy at 185 pounds that has been there for that long. A lot of times with the females at 115, the divisions are so thin, and these are just brand new fighters in the UFC. It doesn't hold the same value. A girl that's fighting a 115 pound female fighter in the UFC that